Sathish, how are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. So it's kind of funny to interview. I talk with you on almost on a daily basis. I'm going to be asking you all these questions. Anyway, so you joined ANB in 2020, am I right? Right
Correct.
during the pandemic.
Correct, ma'am.
So were you looking for a job during that time, or how did that happen? Right during the pandemic, from work
Like,
from home, you wanted to come to office, or what was the motivation factor that you had to join ANB?
the main thing was like I was looking for a product-based company.
Uh-huh.
Like earlier, like I had 3 years of experience, which was into a service-based company. So my ultimate aim wasn't to step into a product-based company.
Uh-huh.
So that was the main reason why I came into A&B systems. I took initially like I took this interview on Jan 2020, but it was a
Right
long.
before we shut down. Okay.
Exactly, ma'am. So it was a long gap. Suddenly, I got a call from Anand on in between May, I guess, and then I took up this opportunity.
Okay. So you joined right when we opened the office. I think we opened the, or did you wait to for the office to open full before you joined, or you joined right away in the month
I
of
joined
May
right
when we
away,
had?
ma'am. I
Oh,
joined right
right,
away.
right in the month of May. Okay.
Exactly.
Maybe I didn't see you. Okay, because I left in June and then I came back only after a year.
Yes, ma'am.
So I see that you had a engineering degree, and then how did this change happen from computer science, and then you did MBA, and then you are a HR person now? What was how what why was this kind of a change? Instead of pursuing the engineering computer science, what made you think that HR is the forte that you want to venture into?
Thanks for noticing this unconventional career path, ma'am. Initially, when I was a computer science graduate, I found myself like my passion was into understanding the human behavior, and I wanted to pursue my career into leadership and lot of organizational relationships, the other HR activities. So I
Okay.
wanted to pursue my MBA in HR,
Uh-huh.
and I did my MBA in correspondence in Madras University.
Uh-huh.
Also, I was working in a company called Oris Infolab during my MBA tenure. So it was a very good experience, pursuing my career as well as working in a company, and it gave me a lot of confidence and also knowledge into entire human resource subject. So
So you
basically,
decided to
I
just
yeah, ma'am. So basically, I want to get into HR to understand the entire behavior of the humans.
okay. And it's not an easy job, okay? I mean, I see how much
Definitely, it
of
was
a
a
struggle it
challenging
is. It's very
position.
challenging. It's very challenging. You have to know psychology also, I think.
Exactly,
I
ma'am.
think moving forward, there should be a require. I don't know whether your HR education thing offers psychology as one of the subject. The more I'm looking into all this stuff, I think we need to understand how do we understand in the people's mind.
Exactly.
Anyway, so are you basically from Chennai, or you did your schooling and all somewhere?
I'm born and brought up in Pondicherry, and we got settled in Chennai.
So you did your schooling and college in Chennai.
Exactly, the entire educational curriculum was done in Chennai.
Okay. So you finished your B in computer science, and then you did your MBA, and that
Right.
was through correspondence. Then you had a
Right.
job also. So
Exactly,
how
ma'am.
did you juggle? What wasn't it challenging? Maybe you are very young, you could do that then.
So, like twice in a week, I have to go to the college. That was one
Uh-huh.
of the challenge, and the management supported me on that. And
Hmm.
so initially, like a month, it was like quite challenging to occupy both like the work as well as the studies. And then
Hmm.
I started to cope up with my both the activities.
And you managed it well, and then you graduated, and
Exactly,
then.
ma'am. So
So
with the
your
help of
previous
the
job was also in HR, or was it some other
exactly, ma'am, it was
related to
also
computer
into
science?
HR recruitment.
So the first job you joined was into recruitment.
Exactly.
Okay, so you knew what you want and you didn't, you went about the path. Okay. So you've
Correct.
been here for the past 4 years and you have done a lot of recruitment. Because I get to see all the feedbacks and other stuff. Have you faced any challenges in recruitment? I mean, when you interview a person, I mean, have you faced any challenges? The way when you interview them, have you had any issues with the
And
candidate?
obviously, like recruitment is not an easy job. Basically, doing a recruitment in a service-based company and doing a recruitment in a product-based company is definitely a different task and different challenges.
Uh,
So in our organization, of course, like we had a lot of difficulties in finding right candidates.
uh,
So the challenges was definitely on plate. Like, I had prior experience in recruitment. I got to manage the difficult task when I was facing in initial stage, like
uh.
adapting to a few things, like finding the right candidate with given CTC, and also we have to convince a candidate on different aspect. So in subject to those
How
areas,
many times have you scheduled an interview and the candidate not showing up? Has that happened?
that is basically a part of on daily like activities, like we used to follow the candidates on. So for example, if I have 3 interviews by tomorrow, I'll be following with the candidate on the early morning. The
Uh,
candidate will accept the interview email. During the interview time, they will not be joining the interview. So it is basically
So
expected
this
what in the
is you are
recruitment
saying
process.
this is you are saying on the online interview. How many
It
times
is
people have
on.
stood up not showing up, confirming everything? You have scheduled the interview with managers and all. Does that happen often? Is it a routine thing or occasionally those things happen?
Ma'am, it is basically a routine thing for a recruiter, but a good thing in A&B systems, like I haven't, I like the number of, the percentage of no show was very minimal in A&B systems in my past
Okay.
4 years of tenure. So that was one of the good thing. But
Uh,
as a recruiter, definitely it is one of the challenging one. The people will commit to the interview process, and they will definitely they will there will be a no show in lot of times.
so there'll be a no show at the beginning. There will be a no show after you give the
After
offer.
getting an offer, they will
There'll be a no show on the day of joining
They
also.
are
Am I
joining.
right?
Yes. So
So
that
how
is
do
the
you handle
recruiter's life.
those situations? Like let's say, given an example, when the interview process has gone through, you have given the offer and you have informed the team manager that this person is going to join, and you're all set. On that day morning, you get a call, or basically they don't show up. How do you handle those situations, and is it hard, or you just like bounce back and say, okay, let me move on to the next one? Because
Def-
if people don't show up for the interview process, that is a different setup. But when they have gone through the whole step of joining a company, and then on that day, like say at 10 o'clock they are supposed to report, you get a call at 9:30 saying I'm not coming, or there is no communication. How do you handle those situations?
Definitely, it is a toughest scenario where the recruiter will be facing.
Uh-huh.
What usually I do is like, for example, if I work for a requirement, any requirement, for example, if I take a business analyst, so if I have a
Uh-huh.
candidate who is joining by tomorrow, so if suppose if the candidate is no show, always I used to have a the pipeline candidate, the second priority on, like for example, the candidate will have 15 days or 30 days of notice. Always I used to have the candidates in the pipeline, which will be easy for me to convince the management as well as the reporting manager if the
So
candidate
you
is on no
just
show.
jump to the next candidate and give them an offer
Exactly,
and then start the work process again.
because
Okay.
obviously the no show candidate, they will block our number, and they definitely they will not pick our call. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. As an HR, obviously your background is very strong because you've been very focused on what you want to do. How have you applied your skills at ANB Systems to drive growth and support the grow a company's talent acquisition strategies? And also with all this acquisition that happened and the merger that is happening now, how has what is your strength in the whole process?
Ma'am, like past 4 years, like I had very good experience with the A&B systems. So, for example, like in prior, like I don't have any exposure in hiring US candidates. So after stepping into A&B systems, I got enough exposure in hiring US candidate as well. So
Uh-huh.
past 4 years, the company gave me a very good platform for hiring both
Mhm.
India and USA. So since there is an integration happen now, I don't feel there is much difference now. So I hope it will continue the same like what I'm doing for past 4 years.
Okay, okay. I hope so too. You've been. What I have seen with you is you're extremely organized and you're a go-getter. So that's your plus point. If we tell you something, you work on it, and then you get the job done. That is what I have seen. I've worked with you closely for almost 2 years now, and especially during Energize, that is that kind of commitment and the drive you have to get things done. That is amazing. Keep up. Okay,
Thank you.
moving from A and B. I know you are a very passionate cricketer, but last week I found out that you play tennis too. So, how do you manage two sports? And you were telling me that you play tennis on weekdays and then weekends. You play professional cricket. Am I right? You play for a
I'm
league or something.
actually
Yeah.
like I'm a professional cricketer as well as the professional badminton player.
Oh,
So
badminton. On top of it, you play tennis too.
no, it is only badminton, ma'am.
Badminton. Oh, I must have misunderstood. Okay,
So
you are a
actually, like I have
professional. Oh,
represented,
wow. Okay.
I have
How do you
represented
manage?
twice in Chengalpat district for badminton. Also, like in the weekends, I manage for cricket. Every days, like from Monday to Friday, I used to go for regular practice for badminton in the morning session.
Uh-huh.
So I wake up at 5:30 and
Uh-huh.
I'll be in the court by 6:30. From
Uh,
6:30 to 8, definitely like all 5 days, I will be in the court.
Amazing. And then weekends you play. I know you switch off the phone, you don't answer because you are in the
Weekends,
ground.
I go for cricket, ma'am. Yes.
Rain or shine, you are in the thing. That is amazing, Satish. I think this should motivate the rest of the youngsters that are in the office that, that they should take up one thing that are passionate about and then they should continue. Not the discipline. That is what I'm saying. That's your plus point that you get
Also
up every
recently,
day.
I started to coach the young generation people without
Wonderful.
getting fees. Yeah,
Very
helping the
nice.
poor people.
Very nice. Are you doing that for badminton?
That is for badminton in the weekends.
You play badminton 5 days a week. You play cricket, and then you have time to coach.
Yeah, 1 hour in the evening.
Amazing. So you are a very young father. You got married very young, which is, I think, by the time I think you're 30 now and you are settled with a young boy. How did that happen? Did you get married? Did you get married to your college sweetheart, or how did that happen?
Exactly, ma'am. So like
You
fiance
met
was
your
my
wife
uh,
when?
classmate during my computer science engineering.
Uh
So
huh.
we
So,
were in the relationship for almost 9 years, and
wow.
then we got married in 2020.
2020 you got married. And we are 24 we are. So how old were you when you got married?
24.
So you're only 28.
Now it is 6. I got married in 2018, ma'am.
Okay. So 24. That is
So
very young, Satish, but you have managed a wonderful career and then you have managed your extracurricular and then you are a father of a young boy. It's just amazing. I think this should be a very big inspiration for all the people who are in 30s still looking, trying to find a girl. Okay. If you can find someone, chase them, get married in 24 and then, continue to persuade doing that is amazing. So how do you manage? You're busy at office. I mean, obviously, and then you have all this morning badminton, weekend cricket. So who takes care of the baby? Your wife does everything.
ma'am, in the evening session, I will take my son to the badminton court. So he will come along with me,
So
and
he's going to be a
remaining
young
time, my
champion soon.
wife used to manage my kid.
Play badminton in the evening also.
No, no, in the weekends. So I used to take him to the badminton court, and weekdays, my wife will take care of my kid.
How old is
Yes,
your
ma'am.
son?
He's stepping into 4 years.
4 years. So has he started school?
Yes, ma'am. He's going like, for a pre-KG
Kindergarten?
kindergarten.
Okay. So I think you are definitely an inspiration for the young generation, not only knowing what exactly to do when you're that young, right? Like you were 22, you knew exactly that you don't want to persuade a computer science career. And then by 24, get married, then have a kid, and then persuade all your dreams. Amazing, Satish. I tell this to Bala all the time. I know one person who knows what he wants is Satish. Okay. And you could travel quite often. Am I right? You travel outside the
Exactly.
country and you travel inside. Where have all you gone? I know you went to Sri Lanka.
Like I have traveled to Indonesia,
Where in
Malaysia,
Indonesia?
Dubai, and Sri Lanka.
Okay. Where in Indonesia? You went to
I went to Bali, ma'am.
Bali, went to Bali. And Malaysia also you saw. So very nice, Satish. Um,
Thank you, ma'am.
it, I'm in awe looking at you all the time. First is that smile you have in your face, no matter what, whatever stress you have, you don't show it. You're always smiling. That's your biggest positive factor. So keep smiling and keep bringing the energy that you have, and go continue to chase your dreams, whatever you have, and wishing you the best.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much, ma'am. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity, ma'am. Thank you.
You.